Hello, my name is Solomon Lopez, and I started this channel because I wanted people to be able to see that the Bible has some pretty interesting stories. I know it can get somewhat dry whenever you're reading the Bible and you come across a lineage, seeing that people came from this person, or you're coming across a description of something being built, like the ark, like this was this many cubits, this was that many cubits, so on and so forth. So yeah, it can get pretty dry, but I want to let you guys know that there are some interesting Bible stories in there that can grab your attention. It could actually make you want to read deeper into the Bible, and that's what I really want you guys to do. But here's another thing too: is I also want people to start reading the Bible more, so that whenever they go to church, they can see if things are being taken out of context, and or they can just start asking their pastor or their minister questions, saying, "Hey, like I read this part of the Bible, and I know that you use this verse to talk about it in your teaching, but I don't think that these two things correlate with the message that you're trying to send." So on and so forth. Maybe we'll start opening up that conversation, or like maybe you'll find out that probably the church that you're going to may not be what's defined in scripture to be correct. But without further ado, our first story that we're going to talk about is Korah's rebellion, which can be found in Numbers chapter 16. So Korah was a Levite, and he was the first cousin of Moses. And so basically he gathered up 250 people, 250 Israelites, and they went to Moses and said, "Moses, like, you're making us go over here wandering around in the desert. You took us out of Egypt, and now you want to make yourself a king over us. And like, not only that, but you're holding yourself and your brother Aaron as priests, and they're not even Levites." So, quick story is that every tribe of Israel had a land inheritance except for the Levites. The Levites had a special inheritance to be able to move and touch the tent of meeting and the ark of the ark of the Lord. So they told Moses this. They said, "Hey, you're trying to rule over us. You're not even a Levite. And why do we need you to lead us? Because all of God's people are holy." And so Moses said, "Okay, if you believe that I'm not the chosen one of God, and maybe one of you guys is supposed to be the chosen one of God, let's all bring incense. Me, Aaron, and all your assembly bring incense towards the Lord tomorrow morning, and we'll see who he chooses." So they said, "Okay." So the next day they brought incense to the tent of meeting, and all of Israel was there. It says all the congregation was there, so they were witnessing it. They brought incense before the tent of meeting, and then the Lord talked to Moses and Aaron and said, "Get away from the whole congregation because I'm about to consume them." And then Moses and Aaron prayed to the Lord, saying, "Lord, why are you going to kill all the congregation when it's only these few men who sin?" So then the Lord said, "Okay, then get away from these men and tell the rest of Israel to get away from these men, because I'm about to open up the earth and swallow them whole." So Moses said to all of Israel, "Get away from these men, or else you're going to die with them." And he also said, "If I am not the chosen one of God, then these men are going to die by old age, by natural causes. But if I am the chosen one of God, then they're going to die in an unnatural way." And so as soon as he was done saying that, the ground split open up, and they fell in, and they were killed. And then not only that, but God sent a blaze of fire to kill the 250 people that followed them as well, and burned them alive. And then all of Israel got scared, and they left. But did that stop the Israelites from grumbling after Moses about people dying? No, they all came back the next day, and they were saying, "You killed God's chosen people. Like, how could you do this?" And so on and so forth. And then God told Moses, "Get away from this congregation because I'm going to kill them." And so Moses told Aaron, "Go and make atonement for the people of Israel. Run to them and make atonement, burning this incense for the Lord, because the Lord already started a plague on the people." And so Aaron grabbed incense and ran over there and made atonement for the people of Israel until they stopped dying. And then he went back to the tent of meeting. But after he was done, about 4,000 plus people of Israel died because of that. So basic teaching of the story is to not question who God puts over you in a church setting. But I know what you guys are probably thinking, like, hey, you're making this video because you said that you want to warn us about the church and to call them out, or if we have any questions to talk to our pastors and ministers about it. Yes, but you got to think about the times in Israel where they were at. Moses was performing great wonders in front of them. He split the Red Sea. He was able to call fire down from the heavens, all through God's name. And the Israelites were seeing this. And then they were saying that he wasn't the chosen one from God. It wasn't questioning Moses' authority. It was more of questioning God's decision of who he appointed over them. They were really questioning God. They weren't really questioning Moses' authority. They were questioning God's decision on who he put over them. And so that's why God was mad. So I hope you learned something from this. If anybody sees that I missed something or give an incorrect detail, please correct me. Or if you're new to this, read Numbers chapter 16, and then maybe you can correct me in the comments. And if there's any other Bible stories that you guys feel like are not talked about enough and are very interesting, please let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to them and I'll do a story about them. Thank you. You guys have a blessed day.